Oh, so we have been working on our art where we will transfer a portrait that has been photocopied onto a piece of art paper. We used a graphite pencil to fill the back of our photocopy with graphite. I'm putting some clothing fuzz on my masking tape so that it's not too sticky. I'm going to put that tape face up on my desk, and I'm going to slide that photocopy paper halfway on top of it so that the graphite is facing up. It doesn't matter what end. So the graphite's going to be between the two papers. So I'm going to put my art paper on top, line it up as best I can with the bottom edge so that I can fold it over and make a hinge. A hinge allows something to open like that. You may erase any messy marks. You may wash off your hands briefly so that you can begin the next part. I use something hard like a pen. A pencil would also work to find edges on my art and carefully trace them. By carefully, I mean slowly. If you aren't sure where the edge is, then don't make it up in your mind. In fact, by having the paper right side up like this, I'm more likely to make things up in my mind. So I very soon should flip it upside down. We want your eyes to see. We want your observation skills to be noticing edges of dark and light. We don't want your brain to be thinking about the structures of a face. So here I think in just a bit, I'm gonna flip it upside down. There's what it looks like when it's transferring. It's just like a nice pencil line. All right, upside down. Now I can see things like wrinkles. I would have never seen those dark shapes if I hadn't flipped it upside down. I can see some folds of fabric. I'm gonna edge those, the shoulders, all the areas, the fine areas of the face. I'm gonna put a line between dark and light shadows. When in doubt, don't press too hard, but when it's a really hard line between dark and light, go ahead and press pretty hard. I'm finding even just light shadows and finding the area between that and white to delineate. You're basically mapping a surface as if it weren't a human. You're mapping it like it was hills and streams, just being completely observant without interfering with what you know. It might look weird, it might look abstract. And for this project, that's fine. We're still gonna get some feelings of a face, some feelings of a person, and we're gonna have some words inside that will help a message be given. This does not have to look totally real, but when you follow closely on the lines and you start to look at values, you're gonna learn a lot about observational art. So now I put my two images side by side. I really probably could have done more detail under one of those eyes before I disconnected the tape, but let me show you the next step. Very lightly with a black colored pencil, I'm going to start to go in any place where I know there is black and slowly and carefully stroke in some medium darkness. So I see those very dark eyes, and I very carefully color that in on my art. I'm going to fast forward. I'm coloring in one direction with my black colored pencil, pressing softly so that it's not too dark. And again, it's right side up, and I should have it upside down so that I can just see all the darkest parts of my photo and copy the darkness inside of those shapes over on my art paper. This is not easy. This is something that you take your time and go very slowly on. If you aren't sure where to color, sometimes you can hold both of these things overlapping up to the light and kind of see through one paper onto the next and see exactly where you need to be tagging something dark. Her upper lip is dark. That's common. There's a neck shadow I'm going to color in. And I fast forward some more. You can see I'm finding little tiny spots, the shadow next to the nose, the nostrils. And here's another one I did. This one had so much darkness. It was almost impossible to fill in, but it looks like I need to do a little bit more on that one to match. And you can get input from the teacher or other people to see where you need to darken. So after we get our darkest spots darkened, we're going to start our process of adding text. Any place where your image is light, you're going to use your skinniest pen and you're going to use large spread out letters. Any place your image is dark is where you can use a heavy pen and write condensed letters. You will need to research your person to look up their quotes, to look up what people say about them, look up what is special about them, so that you can start to find keywords to write into your art.